Kabila has arrived in the rebel-held eastern city of Goma for talks with locals. This comes a month after he declared his intention to help end the ongoing crisis in the war-ravaged region. If confirmed, his visit could complicate the US-backed efforts to end the rebellion by M23 armed group, which controls mineral-rich areas that the Trump administration is eager to develop. For more insight, we're joined on the line by Congolese political analyst Didier Bayeye. Didier, thank you for making time for us again at Channel Africa this Thursday. How are you?
Good morning, Asanda. I'm fine, thank you. How are you doing?
I'm good, thank you so much, and we appreciate you making time to chat to us on this. So,
always a pleasure.
Great. So, former President Joseph Kabila has reportedly returned to Goma again, a city now under the M23 rebel control. What do you make of the timing and potential motivations behind this?
All right. The main issue here, or the main question, is not the return of the former President Joseph Kabila to the DRC, but how he returned to the DRC and then from where he has entered. Now, before we even get there, analyze that, when he left, why he's come back, he's making headline. Was he a refugee? Was he an escapee? Or he was just a normal person that left his country for a reason well known to himself? That is where the question is. However, with the time and we looking at everything that's happening and how he returned, where he has entered the country from, well, this is what is raising eyebrows, especially when linking the rumors that been spread already with him being in partnership with the M23 rebels, with him being the great supporters, with him being the supplier of finances and including guns to the M23. Well, this could justify why he decided to return to his country in through the region or space occupied by the same people he pretended to fight when he was in power.
We'll talk on that in terms of the M23 rebels. Let's start with the U.S. because they're supporting peace talks and mineral deals in eastern Congo. Yet fighting continues in the eastern DRC. After a ceasefire failed to end the fighting between the government and the rebels, how might Kabila's reappearance in this rebel-held zone complicate these efforts by the U.S.?
We don't think it will complicate much. The reason why we believe it will not complicate anything is that Kabila was himself, including some of his allies in the U.S. during the negotiation and the talk between the DRC government and the U.S. government in Washington, trying to seal this deal, to conclude and put everything in place. And they were there also trying to lobby so that this deal will not go through. But we have seen that effort failing. The U.S. is not coming because the place is in peace. The U.S. is coming. It is true that the U.S. want the rare material, but they also, part of the deal is also for the U.S. to bring peace, to bring security forces and latest technology to make peace in the area. So the United States is well aware of the situation of the belligerent in the area, of illicit exploitation of the minerals in the DRC by rebel groups supported by people like Joseph Kabila and other people. So the United States is, we don't think this will really impact because they are aware of that. They were not coming to a peaceful area in the first place by entering into this deal with the United States.
Another possible complication, I don't know whether this one is, but on social media, a rebel spokesperson welcomed Kabila into the country. Kabila's immunity was stripped, we know before, by senators over his alleged support for the M23 rebels. Should the rebel group say anything at this point, or could this social media post be another possible complication to Kabila's return or his efforts?
Well, it's been a few months, or if not a year, when a President Tshisekedi, in one of his media appearances, declared black on white that AFC of Nanga, one of the leader of the rebel in partnership with M23, is nothing else but that is Kabila. So he said it openly on the media. So there were a lot of criticism in pertaining to that. How can the president say this about his predecessor? But now, with what the leader or the spokesperson of the rebels is saying, but it's just adding up, is just confirming the suspicions around Kabila working together with the rebels. Now, let's try to understand this, Asanda. Kabila is saying that when he was in power, he brought peace, he negotiated with the M23, he fought the M23, and all of a sudden, how can he go back to his perceived country and is protected by the very same people who are killing Congolese, who are slaughtering Congolese, and whom he's been fighting? It doesn't make any sense at all. It doesn't make any sense. And there is also reports that from his arrival in Goma, he even went to see and encourage the camp. He went to see the camp of rebels, the training camp, and tried to give them support and encourage them. So this is just to confirm that he has never been with the Congolese people. He's never supported the DRC. Instead, he is the source of giving DRC to the neighbor, in particular Rwanda, to rule and loot the mineral resources.
From a regional perspective, with Rwanda denying involvement in the M23 and Kabila being accused also of coordinating with Paul Kagame, how do you interpret the current regional power plays in the Great Lakes region?
First of all, when we talk of regional involvement or regional concern in this DRC conflict, Asanda, it's sad to say that Africa in general and the region in particular have dismally failed in the DRC conflict, because Kabila has no other forces if it was not for Rwanda. Even now, there is footage showing that he's being guarded by Rwandan forces. And Rwanda, I think, has stopped denying its involvement, because even in the U.S., we didn't see the DRC government with the U.S. government and the M23 rebel leaders negotiating. We saw Rwandan representative and the DRC representative and the U.S. representative on the table. So if Rwanda is not involved, why is it always on the table of negotiation with the DRC? We've seen the same thing in Nairobi. The peace treaty in Nairobi, Rwanda was involved. Rwanda is there, and the Doha, Rwanda was there, the US, Rwanda's there. So it's really, at this point, nobody can doubt that Rwanda is not involved, because it's clear that Rwanda is involved. It's clear Rwanda is destabilizing the Great Lake region and the rest of the region. We can see what Kabila tried to do by moving around, trying to seek leniency with some former presidents of Africa to defend him. And the rumor has it that is because these people, all of them have their interest mining concessions in the DRC, and then hence they try to defend Kabila. Yes. And then whoever tried to support Kabila at this time is an ignorant and an enemy to the peace of the Congolese people.
Yeah, we're going to have to leave it there. We are completely out of time, and we'll continue talking on this topic. It doesn't end. We're going to continue, and I'm sure we're going to have you express the rest of your very passionate views on this issue. But thanks again for your time on this Thursday.
Thanks a lot, Asanda, and good morning again.
Thanks. Sorry to cut you there, but we have to go. Didier Bayeye is political analyst, providing valuable insight into Joseph Kabila's visit or alleged visit to Goma.
The Morning Switch Weekend with the